You're on the best of the morning. Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. 99X.
Have a look at this. This Mojave is a wild-caught snake. And it should actually be whacking around at me, rattling its tail, and it's not. In fact, I am at one with it. I can even take the risk of free handling it. See my hands under its belly? And look at my backhand. See how I'm allowing it to move. All it wants to do is go back under the rocks. And it's allowing me to be at one with it and gently allow it to glide through my hands and not even rattle. It's because it doesn't feel fear. After 20 seconds of working with it, it's worked out, hey, this animal doesn't want to hurt me. But you watch when it goes into a corner and gets into that S position, then its whole demeanor will change. Because now it's in a defensive position right up against that rock. Now, if I try and touch it now, whack, I'll get tagged. No doubt about it. 100% sure I'll take a hit if I go in and try and touch it. You wouldn't want to take a hit off one this size. He'd either put you in hospital or kill you.
That just scares me listening to it on the radio. Crikey! This is one of the craziest men around. Steve, you're crazy.
Steve Irwin.
Hey, g'day.
Steve Irwin.
Well,
And
you know
Terri
what
Irwin.
helps is my dad had the front part of my brain cut out when I was young, so that fear factor's kind of been eliminated.
I mean, just hearing that with that music, scary. I wouldn't get within 100 yards of a rattlesnake.
Mojave rattlers particularly, mate, they've got a very notorious reputation of bite first, ask questions later, and that was just a really placid snake, and it just goes to show you how each snake is an individual, just like us people, you know, quiet ones, aggro ones, long ones, tall ones, fat ones, skinny ones.
And when they talk about a venomous snake, not all venom is necessarily lethal venom, right?
That's right, mate. You've got venom that can hurt you, venom that can maim you, and venom that will kill you.
Well, what percentage of, let's say, venomous snakes can kill you?
It really it depends on individual reactions. It depends on
there's a whole load of factors that get thrown in. It's how your own body deals with it. But the venom toxicity of snakes, you know, probably around about out of all the venomous snakes in the world, be less than 20% actually have enough venom in one bite to kill a human. And in Australia, we've got like the top 10 and 17 of the top 20.
Just looking at them, you can tell which ones are the ones to stay away from?
Yes.
As long immediately.
Oh, no, mate, usually I have to get within 10 feet. It depends on which country I'm in, too. Like, you know, you got to research a lot because there's a lot of colour variations. Like, if I lobbed up down South America right now, I'd go straight to the books and make sure I'd seen every picture of Bushmasters before I went down there, just so I was, like, accurate. And if I can get within 10 feet, I could ID it.
We should also point out that Terri Irwin,
I said that.
Steve's wife, is here. Okay.
Yes, thanks for pointing that out again, though. Thank you.
Okay,
Because I am
great.
actually the crocodile hunter,
You know,
and my husband helps me.
You hunted down.
Yeah.
She's the beautiful
You
half.
really hunted down a big croc.
I did. The biggest, mate. Wrestled it to the ground and took it home to meet my parents.
How did you guys meet? Because you're from the United States, right?
Yeah, I'm from Oregon. I'm a normal person.
Normal person, as opposed to an Australian.
I beg to differ.
Australian wild man. I mean, I met this guy at Australia Zoo when I was an innocent tourist going to Australia, and I thought, I have never met anybody like this in my life.
He's unbelievable.
Did he use the line, hey, let me show you this, honey?
Well,
Have a look at this little beauty.
He did actually.
And
He
it
was
had
in with a huge crocodile and showing everybody about the crocodile. And the way he talked about catching crocs, jumping out of the boat, grabbing them around the neck, restraining them, flipping into the boat. Of course, he saves crocs. He doesn't hurt them. And I thought, this guy is like Tarzan meets Indiana Jones. He's the most incredible man, and had to meet him. He's just awesome. Of course, he wasn't the crocodile hunter then. He was merely Steve Irwin.
Yeah. And when Steve met you, was it love at first sight?
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
And still going strong, too. We've been married 10 years now, and the secret to my success, though, with our married life is she can't understand much of what I'm saying.
That's true.
She still doesn't know what crikey means.
No idea.
I
Not
don't
a
think anybody
clue.
does. Do you do that thing? You know, I've heard that one of the ways that people deal with snakes will try to make themselves somewhat impervious to the venom is they'll actually
Inject themselves.
inflict themselves with snake venom. Do you have to do that? Have you done that?
Oh, absolutely not, mate. I have never been bitten by a venomous snake. I never take anti-venom or anti-venin with me. I've been bitten by more snakes than you could poke a stick at, but not a venomous snake. And I take great pride in that, and it's because of my dad. He was the legend. He was ahead of his time particularly with dealing with wild venomous snakes. And you know what it is? This gift that I've got is I love them. I dead set love them. So if I can get my hands on them and, you know, doing a rescue or trying to show the camera, you know, if I can avoid getting hit within the first 30 seconds, they settle down. They settle right down.
You are like a rock star when you walk into a room. People just go crazy when they see the Crocodile Hunter. Are you surprised by the reaction when you came to the States for the first time?
Yes. When I came to the States for the first time after our documentaries hit the ground over here, I was shocked. It took a long time for me to get over it. I couldn't believe it. You know, people coming on the street. I was in Florida. I was in this Florida, working at Eglin Air Force Base, and I just wanted to go to the supermarket and buy some stuff. And as soon as I got in, the checkout chicks knew who I was, and then everyone in the rows knew who I was. Next thing, they're on their mobile phones. I'm like, panic attack, got to get out of here. So leave the groceries, leave my wife, I'm going. So I go out, and here's all these cars coming in. All these people in the supermarket be on the mobile phone, all these cars, and there's nearly accidents happening. I'm like, what have I done, you know? It was like, I was just completely...
The best part of it, though, is that when people come up to you, it's different than that Hollywood hype. It's like their family. Yeah. It's like people will come up to us and go, how's Bindi? We saw your little girl being born on television. And with the movie, man, it's like the next epic thing. Exactly. It's the big screen. And filming the movie was so eye-opening because Crocodile Hunter Collision Course had a crew of like 150 people on set. We carted them everywhere. We had all these people out at the Simpson Desert where it was so hot, one of the guys' soles melted off his shoes.
They fell off.
They
just melted them.
Steve and Terri Irwin are here. Now, all this week, it's Croc Week, I know, on Animal Planet, 8 o'clock nightly. The best stuff I've seen is it's your outtakes. Your outtakes are hysterical. Like some of those shows. Is there anything that hasn't been shown? Any bad something or any?
You know what? There's mostly you capture what's happening. You know, the bites, the fallovers, the trips, my verbal mistakes, all of that. Mostly it's captured. You know, I'd have to say at least 80%. But there's a 20% that isn't. You just can't get it. No matter how many cameras John Staten uses to run around, and as you can see, there's not a day go by in my life where there's not at least one camera following me around. Stuff happens that you can't catch. And that's really unfortunate, but it's the way it is.
You were in some croc pen, and they were asleep, and you were setting up for the shot or whatever. Or I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, they were making a break at you, and you didn't notice it. And they were trying to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I was sleeping, I think. It was like, should have been moving, and mistakes are something that you make. It doesn't matter what you do in life. You make mistakes. You got to learn. You got to get over it. Don't dwell on it. Learn, learn, learn. That's the most important thing. When you're dealing with the hardest hitting predators on the face of the earth, you've got to learn. You've got to learn quick. You've got to keep your reflexes fast. Don't drink. Don't do alcohol. Don't do drugs. Stay quick. Stay alert. And my dad helped me with all of that. He squared all of that away really early in my life.
Now, will you kill a cockroach in your house? Or will you try to capture them and set them free?
Not since Bindi was born.
Yeah, I used to.
We have to capture and release cockroaches now.
You capture and release?
I do the same thing to an extent.
Yeah. It's a sign of the times. It really is, you know, because you can run around and put all those chemicals out there, and in 20 years, what we're going to learn is a lot of those, you know, dioxides and the pyrethrins and all that we're using to kill the bugs. In 20 years, science is going to go, ooh, bad stuff. It's like asbestos. It's like DDT. 20 years ago, break out the DDT, boys, and throw some asbestos over there. She'll be right. 20 years down the track, there's people suffering from that. So I think, you know, chemicals and science and all that kind of stuff is really hard to keep tab on.
We came home from the bush one time, and Steve had a fully engorged leech on his leg that he didn't notice it dropped off on the living room floor. Now, we're relaxing at home, and suddenly our little girl spots it, and she was about 2 years old at the time. And she's like, oh, look at that. I go, it's a leech, honey. You know, it's been sucking Daddy's blood. And oh, we have to release it. We had to carry the leech out into the grass and release it back into the wild.
Now, where's your most impressive scar? I'm sure you've been asked this many times.
Oh, mate, you know, if impressive scar, I don't have any impressive scars.
I don't see any scars.
Yeah, no. Like, mostly my hands, it's scars on scars. You can't see them. You know, like it's all these white. It's just white on white. This side you can see him a little better.
He heals well.
Yeah, like a iguana scratched me down like deep 3 days ago. It's almost gone. In fact, if I got my arm ripped off by a croc, I'd grow another one. I got a good one here from
Oh, look at that
chainsaw. Chainsaw, mate.
Chainsaw.
How would you be?
Corral the chainsaw.
Yeah. So mostly, if you get bitten by an animal, it's my fault. You know, I knew the risk, and I never ever blame the animal. It's always been my fault. Mm-hmm. Like I got bitten by an alligator here yesterday, and the day before that, a lemur bit me on the nose.
Where was there an alligator yesterday?
Washington Aquarium, D.C.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and I
You're not
went
supposed to
swimming
get
with the
in
alligators.
aquarium. You're supposed
Yeah, I
to
know. That's what I'm saying. So it's
admire.
my fault.
Yeah.
Like, I got to go swimming with those alligators.
Whose country got the nod? You're from Australia, and
Yes.
you're from the USA. Where do you guys live?
Australia.
You do live in Australia?
Yeah, Queensland, Australia. We,
You got those big flies there, don't you?
oh, yeah, whoppers, mate. They hit hard. By
Now-
crikey, they're hard.
We have not done this contest with guests in probably a year or
More
two.
than that.
More than a year.
It is called our fish quiz. It is
Yeah.
a 15-second quiz. Do you do a lot of underwater stuff? Do you do scuba diving? and
Oh,
that
yeah, a
stuff?
lot.
Okay, good.
Sharks,
So-
mate. I'm into sharks. And
Yeah.
sea snakes.
Well, you're from Australia. You're going to have 15 seconds in which to rattle off as many fish as you can, as many types of fish as you can. It's a speed game.
Yep.
Okay. Anything that swims, any mammal, any
Living or
swimming
swimming
mammal
underwater.
works as well. It doesn't have to be a fish, but it can
Any-
be a mammal that lives underwater as well.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna have 15 seconds, and you're gonna if you don't set the record, nobody will.
Okay.
All right. Fish quiz. Steve Irwin, go.
Dogfish, barracuda, salmon, anemone, seahorse, sea dragon, leafy sea dragon, dolphin, whale, shark, great white shark, tiger shark, bronze whaler, eel, moray eel, turtles, shark,
16. I got 16.
16. What is the record?
It's
I think it's
around
close.
20, 19, 18. The guy from Sister Hazel.
no.
What did he get?
No, I think
Ken
Steve
Block,
Irwin
look
could
up-
be
Look up Ken
on
Block.
top.
We may.
He might have been a
How
tie
many
at
did Ken
16.
Block have?
19.
19.
All right.
Oh, he whooped me.
Ooh.
Steve, thank you very
Wow.
much. Terry,
Steve,
thank
Thanks,
you very
mate.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hear that? Never, ever touch a rattlesnake.
It's a Mojave. Now, these guys have got quite an aggressive attitude. They're renowned as one of the hardest hitting rattlers. Come on, buddy. If you have a look down at his tail, you can see he's got that black and white coloration there, just like a Western Diamondback. And this one, he's an adult, but he's not very old. Not real old at all.
Use your inside voice.
Screaming's not okay.
The Morning X!
The best of the Morning X. 99X.